Oh, you're gonna film it? Okay. I might just, I guess I'll just let it ram into the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Is it filming?
Yeah.
Oh. Hi, Paul. You're probably the only one watching it, so just wanted to say we're back to tell you about our drag racer. As you can see from our intro, it went pretty fast, but was not the most robust. But luckily, that's not what we were designing for in this lab. So with our design, we first we're initially kind of planning on using our fastest gear ratio because that's what seemed to work best for the previous groups when we were watching their videos. But then as we were characterizing our motor and finding the speed, we found that it was over 3,000 RPM, which was much, much higher than what was listed on the website. And so we're pretty confused as to why this might be happening. And then once we kind of inspected our motor a little bit more, we realized that our voltage restrictor had broken. And it was very fully broken, and we didn't know how to repair it. And so we pretty quickly decided that we were just gonna stick with this and use it to our advantage.
Essentially, because we were able to run so fast, we decided to do the analysis for a flat horizontal surface first, noting that because of the force diagram, how everything works out, there would ideally be no force and thus no torque on the wheels if you were to simplify everything. And thus the highest gear ratio and highest angular velocity would give you the best speed through the tube, and we had the advantage of a very high angular velocity.
And with just through how the motors work, with a really high angular velocity, we knew that we would have a really low torque, and so going at an angle wasn't going to be towards our advantage.
A bit about our design was we put rubber bands over our wheels to maximize traction. We also tried to centralize most of the weight above our kind of powered axle driving wheels. And then on top of that, we lengthened the car a bit and put on front wheels to stop it from flipping. As far as key concepts go, our main one was the free body diagram, which we used on the flat surface, which was really helpful because we were able to neglect the force of air resistance as well as the inertia of the body because of the rapid acceleration. And then I guess other key concepts would be kind of torque and rotational speed.
So overall, our design worked pretty well. We had one of the lowest adjusted scores throughout the entire class, which was pretty good. It performed a little bit slower than we expected, but we had no slipping. So it didn't work so well in our design. When we had originally predicted it, we predicted it to run in less than half a second, but it ended up being just over 1 second. So this is a pretty big difference. We found that our issues were that our car flipped in the tube, and so it would still run because it was large enough that the wheels still had grip. And so even when it flipped and it was sideways, it still run through the tube, but obviously this adds a lot of friction, and so it caused our car to move a lot slower. But overall, we think our design worked pretty well, especially compared to others.